So we changed the function. So the function name is actually enter data, but the we're calling it an incorrect name. So let's actually let's actually change the name of the function. The name of the function to enter text. Okay. All right, so now we are calling this function, and the function name is same as the keyword that we have in our here in our Excel sheet. Let's look at the Excel sheet. So this is a keyword, enter text. So let's name it as enter text loan amount. So enter text loan amount. And this one as enter text loan terms, because we need to have different keywords for these two steps, because we have to call the function in a different way for these steps. So enter text loan term, and then we have enter, let's just keep it center, and enter loan term, enter loan amount, enter loan term, and enter the interest rate, right? Okay. The browser name and the page name are the same. Put them there. Let's save it. So we'll say if the keyword is enter loan amount, then call this function, and put the data value as the loan amount. Okay? And by the way, all these variables for loan amount, for loan term, we need to put these variables before we start calling those functions, right? Otherwise, QTP won't understand. They won't understand the value of these variables. So the initiation of the variables, we need to put that in the beginning of the script. So initiate variables. So let's do that. Let's take this, a little too much. And let's put this in the beginning of the script. Okay? Let's run the script just for the loan. So I'm just using one keyword, which is enter the loan amount. So I'm telling QTP in this keyword in the sheet, then execute the enter text function and enter the loan amount. Okay? Let's run this. It looks like we have some of this, so we don't need this. Save it. We seem to have some errors within the script, so while we're trying to read the data, and the file path, the data table import, file path sheet name. So let's see this. So we're trying to read the data, mortgage calculator. Yeah, so basically it's not able to find the file path. So we specified the path name after we did this. So let's have the path name at the very beginning. So without giving the path name, we cannot use the path, right? So everything in the beginning, and let's save it, and let's run this. So it navigates to mortgage calculator. Looks like it enters some text. Okay. So one second. Let's try to use a different value. So instead of 300,000, let's put something else, just to check if this is working. Okay. So we'll just put that. Let's put the loan amount, let's read as 200,000. So let's go back to the sheet. So this time we're trying to put 200,000, which is line number 1, right? So the loan amount is line number 1. So yeah, so it actually is line number 1 already. Let's see this. Okay. So let's print the value for loan amount 1. Okay. So we'll know exactly what value it is reading. So we can say, yeah, it is 200,000. So that's the data that we're trying to enter, right? So let's see if that is happening actually. So loan term 1, we're putting this value, loan amount 1. Yeah, so we're putting the same value here. Let's run this and see what happens. So it navigates to calculator, and it did enter 200,000. And it clicked on calculate, closes a browser, right? So the monthly payment does not match, that's fine. So we need to change the monthly payment in the Excel sheet. So we did execute a very crucial part of our script because we're able to instruct QTP to read through the test cases, and for this, for test case number 1, to read through the test steps. If you find browser underscore open, then open the browser. If you find enter loan amount, then enter the loan amount. Now, we can do the same things for loan term, interest rate, for clicking on the button, for verifying the results, for closing the browser. We can do all these things and have them perform. So the whole thing will be automated with the hybrid framework based on the keywords, okay? So we'll add some more into our keywords. So we'll say, if the keyword is loan amount, then do this. Else if the keyword is loan term, enter loan term. Then call the same function. And this time, enter the loan term value. Okay. And do the same for the interest rate. If the read if read keyword is equal to enter interest rate, then call this function. And this time we'll put the interest rate 1. Okay. Let's also put some keyword for clicking on a button. Click calculate, right? Same browser, same page. And let's create a function for that, for clicking on the button, okay? So we're needing this. So instead of putting this right into this code, let's create a function for creating a button. So let's create another function. Click button. And this time we'll do the same. So colon equal, we'll say my browser. My page. This is the file name. This is the property. Okay. We'll pass these values into the function. My browser, my page, and my image, because this is an image button, right? So let's name the function as click image button. All right. So click image button, and let's add some more keywords. Else, if the read keyword is equal to click image, click calculate, then call the function and click image button and pass the same parameter for browser. This is for page, and this one will be for the button, right? So we did not create a variable for that, so let's do that. Button, let's say calculate button is equal to since we're not entering any data, we don't actually have to create another variable for that. So just directly call the function. So if the keyword is click calculate, then call this function. But the third variable, the third parameter, is this file name, the file name of the button, right? The property file name. So let's try to get the file name property. Okay. Let's try to get it from the application itself. Let's do an object SPY. Click on calculate. And the file name is, this is the property that we're getting, right? And the function. So we'll pass this parameter. Okay. We can now close the browser. And now we can put in the Excel sheet, the input 3 for the button is calculate.bng, right? Save it. Input 3. So we went up to clicking on the button, and for verifying results, let's create another function. So at this point, this will be very complicated, but try to go through each and every step and watch the video over and over and over and over. This will make it very easy and more understandable. So this verifying the result, let's put it in another function. So let's create another function called verify result. And we'll do the same for the browser and the page. And the column name is, let's take the parameter for column name. My table. And we'll pass the same variable, my page, my browser, my page, my table, right? And let's put that input 3 for verifying the results will be the table, right? And the browser name and the page name are the same. Input 1, input 2. Those are the same. And let's give it a name as verify result. Verify result, okay. And let's close it, save it. So in the function, we're getting together the property. And some monthly expected statement, monthly variable, monthly pay is Okay, so if this monthly expected result presents in the variable text in the getRO property, then write a pass, otherwise write a fail, right? So within the function, we have to get that. We have to get that value. Okay? So let's do that. So we have to pass it as another variable, which is the monthly expected result. We'll also put in the parameter function. Okay. Save it. Monthly expected result. Okay. Now we'll add this also into our keyword and our function column. So else if read keyword is equal to verify result or results. Is it result or results? So let's find out. It's just result. Verify result. Then call the function, call verify result. And the first one, IP1, input parameter 2, input parameter 3. Then we have the data that we're putting. The data is actually monthly expected result, right? Okay. Which is basically coming from here, which is it's getting read from our Excel sheet, from this column here, right? Okay. All right, save it. So within the function, let's give it a different name. Let's just leave it as monthly. I don't want to use the same variable twice, so monthly expected. Okay. So we created a function for each and every item. All right, so the last thing that we need is closing the browser, right? So let's create a function for that also as well, okay? So just one line. Let's create a function for that. Function close browser. And we just need to pass one parameter, which is browser name in this case, right? My browser. Pass my browser. Save it. And this is our last step. So we'll say else if the keyword is equal to close the browser, then call the function close browser and just pass the browser name. Just one input we need, the browser name. So let's update the Excel sheet according to that. So when we try to close a browser, let's put the keyword as close browser. The input, the name of the browser is mortgage calculator. We don't need input 2 and 3 for this function for the closing browser, just the browser name, right? So let's save it. And that's it. So let's run this and let's see if it works. Otherwise we'll do some more troubleshooting on this. Okay? And take off the breakpoints and let's try to run this. So, okay, we have some error on line number not line number 59. Okay, so we forgot to close the bracket. Let's save it and run this. So it navigates the Excel sheet, opens the browser, enters 200,000, and it gets stuck on clicking on the button, right? So let's try to investigate that. So it's saying the browser, okay, so we forgot an equal sign here. It should be colon equal, and file name colon equal. Okay, save it. Close the browser, and let's try to read on this test. Let's try to run it again. Opens a browser, enters 200,000, 10 years, 5%, clicks calculate, tries to verify the results. It's reading through all the other columns in the Excel sheet. It's writing the results, and that's it. Let's investigate the results. So if we go to the result folder, and we can see that we can see that the name of the test is mortgage calculator. The result is pass. The error messages, this is previous error messages, so we don't need that. So let's delete this error message. So that's why it's always a good practice to clear these out. And we can write another 1 or 2 codes that'll go through and clear out these values in the beginning of the script. So we'll do that later on. So whatever we write after this will... So if we have that, if we have these error messages that we don't need anymore, if it's a pass, then we can get rid of that. Okay, so let's save it. Let's clear out all of the pass and fail and everything. Let's clear out all of this. The test name. So right now, we don't have any results. So now we'll read on the test and we'll see if we get the results back into our sheet. So it's writing the results, entering the fields, reading through the Excel sheet. So it did not find the same keyword. So what exactly happened here? So let me show you. This script, what exactly it does is it goes through the test cases. If it finds test case 01, then it goes through the test steps. In the test steps, if it finds browser open or browser underscore open keyword, then it calls a function to open the browser. If it finds the keyword enter loan amount, then it calls a function to enter the loan amount. And if it finds enter loan term, enter interest rate, clicks on calculate. If it clicks on calculate, then it calls a function to click on the image button if it finds this click calculate. If it finds the click calculate, the keyword, if it finds the keyword verify result keyword, then it calls the verify function. If it does not find this keyword, it won't call that function. So if the script does not find the keyword in this sheet, it will not call the function. Okay? And let's get a quick example. Okay? Let's delete the close browser. Let's delete the close browser keyword, and let's try to run this test. This time, the script it'll perform everything, but it will not close the browser. So this is the power of this hybrid framework, this keyword-driven framework. So it enters data, click on calculate. Yep, So it looks like it did everything. Let's close it, and it did not close the browser, by the way, but I just want to rerun it and make sure. So it opens the browser. It does put 200,000. Yep. Click on calculate, verifies the results. Let's click on QTP. It's writing the results. Everything is done. It did everything except closing the browser, right? The reason it did not, because we did not have that keyword in the sheet. So how cool is that, right? Whatever we put into this keyword sheet, based on these keywords, it will call and execute those functions, and it will perform tasks according to that. So this is just like using some keywords, some Mafia type keywords, so we can just call the keyword and our script understands that. So a non-technical person, people that do not do automation scripting, they can change the keywords in this sheet, and the script will auto-execute whatever it is instructed to do, whatever is instructed by the keyword. So if I type in the close browser, if I type in the close browser keyword in the second line, then it will open the browser, it'll read the first line, and then the second line, it will still execute line number 2 because it will check the keywords in a sequential order. Okay? So it'll check the keyword in a sequential order. So if I want the browser to be closed, I have to put it in the last step, because that's how I wrote the script, right? So this is the benefit and the power of using this framework. We have just created a hybrid framework, which is very simple, very basic, but very standard. So based on keywords, our script is executing some tasks, and it's taking the input data from our Excel sheet, our loan term, loan amount. It's also comparing data from our output data in one Excel sheet, and comparing that data and whether or not it is expected or not. So the input data, output data, everything is coming from external sheets, and also the browser page and all those parameters are also coming from our keywords and our input 1, input 2, input 3. So everything is parameterized. No data exists within the script, except for maybe the URL, but we could parameterize. Instead of putting the URL directly, we can assign it to a variable, and we'll tell the variable to read data from our Excel sheet. So we'll create another column. In the data sheet, we'll create another column for URL. So we'll do that. So this is a hybrid framework, and this is a very cool and very beneficial framework that we can use. So we have a combination of data-driven for external data and keyword-driven for keywords based on functions. The combination is the hybrid framework that we've just created in a very decent way. So in the next video, we'll do a walkthrough of each and every line of this keyword, because I understand that this has been a troubleshooting and error-filled, tough journey for creating this hybrid framework. And in the next video, I'll do a step-by-step explanation of each and every step of this code, and I'll explain this whole framework a little better, a little clearer for 10 or 15 minutes. So watch that in the next video. Thank you.